Okay, so as promised, here's a little review of some of my materials. Starting off with some sketchbooks here. It's an old one I picked up. So as you can see, I like to have a variety of sketchbooks, and I quite like to have not just white paper. So I like toned paper like this. I find really nice to work on. It means you can add white chalk, and so you're not starting from that, I talked about the fear of the blank page. So as you can see, various bits and pieces in there. So these black ones I really like, they're from Ryman's. In particular, they have a quite warm tinted sort of cartridge paper, which I really prefer to some of the colder white sketchbooks you can get. And here you can see I've used sort of pen and ink in there, which I'll show you in a bit. And I've got various, I sometimes take them out, I do compositional sketches, take them to the classes, use them for sort of demonstrating things. So here we are. So yeah, there's all sorts of bits and pieces. I find if I complete a sketchbook, I tend to put them in my studio and they sort of sit there. So I do have some of these. These are more ones I have sitting around at the moment if I need to grab at short notice to do a quick study. These are some really, oh, that's a sketch of Lavenham. I was up there with my class, my Brettonham class, about a year or so ago, I think. We did some sketching outdoors, which was great fun. That's at Woodbridge. That was another outdoor sketching session with one of my classes. So yeah, they're great, those little Ryman sketchbooks. So there's some Archer's watercolour block, which I bought recently. So I'm hoping to do a bit more gouache. And this is a very nice sketchbook. This is Strathmore when it comes into focus. And this is sort of Kraft paper. So I'll leave the links below for some of these items if you're interested. Again, that's a really nice heavy sort of duty paper. And there's some assortments. So yeah, all sorts of sketchbooks really. Mostly sort of not too big. Okay, so we're going to go through a couple of media that I really like to sketch with. Say I take these along to life drawing, and say over the years you find what works for you. So these are just a few suggestions if you want to try things and perhaps move away from just pencil and paper. So the first one I like is compressed charcoal. So you've probably seen me use compressed charcoal before. So I carry them around in a little tub like this with a sort of clipped lid, okay, that stops them all from messing up. So in here I've got, so this is vine charcoal. So vine charcoal is it's more crumbly, but you still get these nice rich darks. So this is the advantage really of charcoal over pencil, is you can get these strong darks. So I'll quickly show you something with so let's just do an imaginary sort of landscape. Okay, so quite quickly we can establish these tonal values, and then one of the things I like to use with compressed charcoal is this is like a tortillon, which is like a rolled up bit of paper, okay, and it's great for, say, just making marks and just putting in some sort of sky there. Okay, and the other thing that's quite nice is to use a putty rubber. So putty rubbers are great with charcoal. You can cut through and create nice marks that way. So let's perhaps do a little path or something. Okay, so one of the points here actually with compressed charcoal, it's harder to rub out. So what I do is I get a little bit of putty rubber, okay, and you can just maybe pull some marks out there. So that's just playing around with the composition. That's not really anything in particular. Okay, so yeah, compressed charcoal. Let's try another. We'll do a little still life. So this is good. You can just lay in the shadow. So you've got a little still life like this. You can lay in the shadow, and let's make this a composition. Okay, and then what we can do is I can rub into that. You see that creates some nice mid values, and then I can use my Putty Rubber. I can pull out the highlight. So, okay, so you can get effects very quickly this way. It's also good if you have some white chalk. So say you've got white chalk, then you can, on this toned paper, you could use the white chalk to create, say in this case, maybe a bit of sky or something like that. And let's say you could put the highlight in. So these all give you options. Okay, really nice sort of mark making. But you can see it allows me, instead of having a page where I've got sort of like very faint pencil, it means I can actually, you know, get stuck in there and make some really confident lines, confident hatching. Okay, so it's excellent for that. So yeah, that's compressed charcoal. I say it comes in sort of like chalk form with sticks of it, but I really like to use that. So that's one I'd recommend. Okay. The next one I like to use is a combination of pens. So we've got pens here, and I've also got a this is holds water. It's a brush pen. Okay, now I've already had a go at this, so let's draw something. Okay, so what this fountain pen, it actually, I find them quite hard to control, but that's almost their charm, is that they create variety of marks. And also maybe broken lines, so something like that. And then say you wanted to put hatching on. So you see, it's I'm struggling to control it, but in that struggle, there's more interesting mark making. That's why sometimes having loads of control isn't always the best. Okay, so then I can use my brush pen and I can maybe create some sort of form with that. So you give it a squeeze, that gets the water out. We put a little highlight there. Okay, so you can see it's quite a nice sort of medium. Yeah, it means you can establish a sort of tonal sketch very sort of quickly. Okay, so let's try. So the other one I have is this Rotring pen. It's a chap, John, came to my life drawing class, and he was a big fan of this. So again, you have to give them a bit of a nudge to get them going. But yeah, so there we are. So this might be a bit of a fine line to come up on your screen here, but so you could do a little thumbnail study like that, and then in with the pen. So again, just give it a squeeze, and that way you can get the ink off and create a slightly more delicate look there. Okay, so that's pen and ink. So I say what's nice here is the variety of line, but especially used with the brush pen. I say you get some great effects, and then you can actually work into it, and you can go back in and add more shading like that. So when I did my feedback session, I talked about variety of line. Now this one, not so much, but by varying the pressure, we get variety of line. With this one as well, I get more variety, see? So it's better than just simply a straight line. If you compare it to biro, okay, it's more artistic, let's put it like that. So yep, so that's pen and ink, and perhaps sometimes you don't need to use the water, but I think they combine really well. It just means that you can move the tonal values around a bit, and yeah, create some interesting sort of shapes and very quickly establish a sort of compositional idea. Okay, so then I've got Conte crayons. So I've probably got some Conte black ones as well. Okay, and they're great. Again, they're a bit like the compressed charcoal. They give you a nice sort of dense quality. So let's just pick one here. So do a hand study. So I'll just do a quick. So again, variety of line. Okay, so you can see there we've got some good lines, contours. So again, just trying to, so you vary the weight, okay? So you push hard where you've got these creases. So like there's a crease there, there's a crease there, okay? Overlapping lines there. Okay, and then where I think it comes into its own is, say, you can get your shading. So if I look at it, sorry, my hand's a bit messy, it's all the ink, but you can be a bit more tidy when you do yours. So we've got some shading like that. Like that. Okay, and then I was talking this week about using the background. Okay, something like that. And then also you can use the Putty Rubber. To maybe create effects. And so on. Okay, So you can see it's a great medium. It gives you this really nice effect. You could use it with a little bit of white chalk. So just a little bit of light on the fingernails there, for example. Okay, and you've got yourself a nice little study. Again, very quick, so convenient if you're out sketching and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's Conte Crayon. And then let's have a look. So the other one I like is just, these are charcoal pencils, okay? And it's just a bit different from working with charcoal. So it's like a sort of happy medium. So you have the control of the pencil, but you also get the nice mark making that you might get with charcoal. So let's just find something. So yeah, you can draw, let's just imagine. This was my competition the other day. So you can see you get that nice sort of texture, okay? But that's what we're interested in. So I quite like this sort of energy that you get from working with charcoal pencils. I think it just works really nicely. So, you know, anyway, that's just a little compositional sketch, but you get the idea. So that's compressed charcoal. Again, you can do a bit of rubbing in with that. Maybe make that even a bit darker. Okay, yeah, so compressed charcoal. So, sorry, not compressed charcoal, charcoal pencil, okay? So they come in different varieties of sort of strength, but yeah, I like this. We're just creating a little bit more shadow there, and then okay, so there we go. So that's charcoal pencils. So again, a great one to have in your pencil case. So there are a few of my favourites. If you'd like me to go into any more detail, or there are ones you'd like me to have a go, I mean, I've got other things that I like to use. Let's see, I've got these. These are great big charcoal blocks. I did have some that I got ruined life drawing. They do tend to crumble, but these are great colours to work with, and they're nice for if you get a chance to work on bigger paper. These extra large ones, they're water soluble as well, so I really like to use those. Anyway, so there's a few different types of materials to use. Definitely get a putty rubber. You know, start to be able to remove your lights and darks. That will become useful. Maybe even get yourself, you know, you've got some chalk. Bit of chalk could be useful. And I quite like these. The tortillon, I think they're called. You might see me use one in my life drawing video. Again, just nice for creating sort of blending and that sort of thing. Anyway, I hope you find some of that useful. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite materials are, if there's any that I've left out or you'd like me to talk about. Other than that, I will see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.